Hi, welcome to The Positive Side on RVNTV. My name is Ann DeSantis, I'm your host, and I'm joined by Father James Greenfield. He is the president of DeSales University in Center Valley, Pennsylvania. I want to welcome you, Father Jim.
Thank you so much, Ann. It's great to be with you today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, if you've never heard of DeSales University, you have to check it out. Go online with your laptop or your phone and look up desales.edu. And it's a wonderful school that I'm personally familiar with because my daughter Elaine, hi Elaine, is a graduate of 2019 with her degree in theology, and she just got the best experience from being at DeSales for years.
And she was a great student, so I was there for 1 year with her. So
I'm sure she's loving to hear that from you right now.
Absolutely, go Elaine.
So this is just a joy for me. DeSales is a place that, I think it's just a wonderful university located outside of the greater Philadelphia area,
Yes.
north and west outside of Philadelphia, offering degrees in undergrad, graduate, and also certificate programs, as well as doctorate too. So I wondered if, Father, you just start us out with telling us a little bit about the school itself. I know that sort of that tagline of be who you are and be that well from St. Francis de Sales.
Well, the first thing I'd like to say about myself and DeSales University is that I'm the first president who was also an alum. So I attended the school when it was simply Allentown College of St. Francis de Sales. I arrived in 1979 and graduated in 1984. It's a 5-year program for me because that's when I decided to become a priest. And so it took 5 years because in the middle, we did what is kind of like priest boot camp. We call it novitiate. So I left for a year and learned, how to be an oblate at St. Francis de Sales. So I'm thrilled to be back here as the 4th president. And I just finished 1 full year. So I'm really loving my new job and ministry.
And I know, for myself, being the fact that my daughter just graduated from there, I was blessed to be at your inauguration.
Oh, good. Thank you.
And it was just a wonderful mass and a wonderful experience to be there. And that was on January 1st, 2018. I remember the date.
Yes.
And it's just been a journey for you since then. I know some great things are happening there.
I think so. We're doing really well. There's a whole, challenging time to be in higher education today. We know there's fewer students available to go to college. The Great Recession of 2008, parents weren't having children because of the economic, challenges. And so we're dealing with a lot of that now. Someone said, what's worse than being a college in the northeast section of the United States, being a college in the Midwest, because it's all going south and far west. So we're working hard to ensure enrollment. People always say, as the president, I'm the CEO. And I kind of jocosely say it means Chief Enrollment Officer. So I spend a lot of time on the road going to high schools and college fairs to drum up business. And we have a great product, and I think it's a great university to attend.
It really is, because even your founder, St. Francis de Sales, and being who someone is and being that well, there's so much to that. And there's so much to living a life that has integrity.
Sure. And
also character. That's another big thing about DeSales, is building character. It's so important in today's world, is, having in your mind, knowing that you are doing something not just for yourself, but for others and for the higher good, which is for what God's purpose is, God's will.
Absolutely. I think we have our ethos, our mission. Everything we do at DeSales University is rooted in the fundamental worldview of its patron, St. Francis de Sales, who was a late 16th, early 17th century Christian humanist. And he basically said that we're all called to be holy no matter what your faith is, and that a very pithy and profound way to capture that is to say, be who you are and be that well, in order to give glory to the master craftsman in whose image you are made. So that's the whole thing, but we want to have a tagline, so we keep it shorter. Much like many Jesuit universities have, we are men and women for others. We're the only Salesian university in the country, and our ethos is be who you are and be that well. So we really think that's effective. And we have the first year, every student has to take what we call Character U. So you learn the virtues, gentleness, humility, patience, kindness, etc. And it really helps undergird your academic program.
I can't say enough good about Character U. My daughter was involved in it, and it really sets DeSales apart. It does, that particular program, because it is a Catholic university, but you get all kinds, a lot of different types of people are students at DeSales. In honoring that, Character U is something really good. So check that out, desales.edu. Wonder if you could tell us a little bit about some of the special degrees there. I know that one of them is the physician assistant.
Yes, we brought online a physician's assistance program, I think in the late 90s. It's doing incredibly well. Someone just the other day, I was at a workshop, someone came up to me, he was an attending physician for one of the hospital systems in the Lehigh Valley, to say that he thinks that not only are our PAs the best in the state of Pennsylvania, but among the best in the country. So I was delighted to hear that. We've really become a business and healthcare university in many ways.
Yes.
So we have many programs. We have a doctor of physical therapy. We have a phenomenal nursing program. In 1974, this really was the hallmark of Allentown College. We got permission from the state of Pennsylvania to start the BA in nursing, and it's going strong ever since. And I would say for the last 3 years, at least 20% of the incoming freshman classes, their major is nursing. So
that's a big number.
It is a big number. So healthcare is really booming there at the university, and we want to continue to expand the repertoire of our graduate programs. So we're investigating new programs. We have a great business offering, but we also have a lot of offerings in the humanities. And the performing arts is another big thing here at DeSales University. We have some great plays. We're starting Miracle on 34th Street next week. We host the Pennsylvania Shakespeare Festival in the summer. Broadway actors come to campus. Our students are able to be with them and among them and get parts in these plays. So we really do think that performing arts at DeSales University is the gem of the Lehigh Valley.
It really is. It's amazing. And I would ask for people who are watching to check that out, because some of the productions are just fabulous. So
yes.
If you live or if you can get to the Allentown area, it's Center Valley, PA is where they're located. So definitely would recommend that. And
I always like to say that you can get to our campus from Center City, Philadelphia, under an hour, at least the way I drive. So it always depends on the blue route for us, but it's a very easy drive. We're less than 2 hours to New York and less than 3 hours to Washington, D.C. So we're ideally located, situated, in a beautiful setting, and we share educational enterprise with Lehigh University, Moravian College, Lafayette, Cedar Crest, and Muhlenberg. So we have a great association of independent colleges there. We work well together. Students can enroll in all of those universities as if they're still students at their home school. So it's a great, great repertoire of educational offerings.
It really is. And just the campus itself is just such a nice, serene setting there. And also, you were mentioning to me right before the show started that there's also doctoral programs there
yes.
too. So you have not only the master's degrees, maybe we could talk about that too,
sure.
but the doctoral.
We have a doctorate in physical therapy, and you can access that program by starting as an undergraduate, moving right into your doctoral program. We also have a doctorate in nursing. And we have a number of other master's programs. So we have an MBA, and a lot of that's online, if not all of it's online. We just brought on 2 new programs, a master's degree in higher education and a master's degree in fine arts in creative writing. And people are saying today, do you know what you're doing? Like bringing on a humanities master's program. They don't make money. And we keep saying that's not the major concern here, that we are a liberal arts university, and we really believe in the power of the liberal arts and the humanities. So this program is not only making money and doing well, it just has a bright future. And it's a low residency program, half the year in Center Valley, and the other half, well, not half the year, but a program. We had it in Galway, Ireland, and this year is going to be in Scotland.
Oh,
So
that's
it's great.
amazing.
Yes.
Good to hear. Really offering more and more. I see a lot of growth. I know every class has gotten bigger. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
All of the freshman classes are increasing.
We're now over 500 with these freshman classes, and that's a huge growth both for us here at DeSales University. This year, the present year we're in, is the largest enrollment ever at DeSales University. So we're very excited about all the things happening at DeSales University. We have 20 varsity sports. Our latest sports program was esports.
I was just going to mention sports.
Yes. So we feel like we do gaming with an ethical framework. These students have their own gaming space. They have their own coach. They have their own jerseys. They have a locker room. And we do it with ethics and character. And I think it's a good thing because most of these students that come to us, they're married to their tablet and they're online all the time. So we feel like we're getting where these students are today, meeting them for what their interests are.
That's right. And you're going to see more of that digital expansion. So it's good that you recognize that too, that it's not going to be going away anytime soon.
Absolutely. And we're just bringing on a new program in data analytics and artificial intelligence, but it's applied AI. So we're going to make that a track in every major. So you could, for instance, you could be a nurse, but have a minor in applied AI or data analytics, because we know that healthcare, everything is going,
Everything.
computer. So we really feel like we're cutting edge, and big data is here to stay. So we feel like we're teaching and equipping these students for the world they're going to be living and working in.
That's right. Now we do have to take a break. This
Okay.
is great, isn't it? So we'll have to come back and talk more about DeSales, and we're going to learn more about him too. See you in a few minutes on the positive side.
Thank you.
To link to your social media, embed into your company website, or use in email marketing. Investing in your brand is so very important, and we can't wait to have you as a guest.
Shelter dogs aren't broken. They've simply experienced more life. If they were human, we would call them wise. They would be the ones with tales to tell and stories to write. The ones dealt a bad hand who responded with courage. Do not pity a shelter dog. Adopt one.
Say we've got grit, and we'll take it as a compliment. Because it's our uncommon drive, our spark within, that brings us together and sets us apart. We are temple made. And when others take shortcuts, when others take breaks, when others take the easy way, we take charge.
Add us on social media to watch bloopers, behind-the-scenes footage, previews, and more.
I work 13 hours a day, 6 days a week. So when I'm off the clock, I gotta get stuff done. So when I need a snack, I need something healthy, tasty, and easy to eat. Like wonderful pistachios without the shells. They're protein-powered, delicious, and great on the go.
Hi, welcome back to the positive side after the break. Ann DeSantis here with Father Jim Greenfield, the president of DeSales University. He is an oblate of St. Francis de Sales. I'm so blessed to have you here, and just listening to everything that we talked about from that first half, talking about DeSales University, which, as I mentioned, is in the northwestern outside of the Philadelphia area, and close to Allentown. It's called Center Valley. So take out your phone or your laptop. You want to check out desales.edu and learn more, especially if you have a son or daughter, or you yourself would consider a degree, taking classes at DeSales. As I mentioned before, they have degrees in undergrad, graduate, certificate, and doctorate programs too. So
Absolutely.
Good to hear.
Thank you.
Yes. I would pull from the website. It says, what makes DeSales so special as a Catholic university, everything we do, from classes to activities and all things in between, is based on our mission. And I thought you could talk about that.
Well, our mission is simply, it's twofold. It's transactional and transformational. So obviously the mission is to educate through the prism of Salesian spirituality and our Catholic identity and our Catholic ethos. So we pride ourselves on being a Catholic school. That means we welcome everyone of all faith traditions, and we do it through that unique Salesian flavor of being who you are and being it well. And then we also say, like the transactional part of that, we want to get students jobs. That's what parents want. So we are very clear about that ROI, return on investment. But transformational, we really feel like we're getting students' lives. You know, like we ultimately want to get students to heaven. And that's the special thing that we do at DeSales. And we don't make any qualms about that as our mission and the end goal. So we think it works really well. A parent commented to me a few weeks ago at an open house that she was so happy that I began my speech with a prayer. And that's what we do at DeSales University. Like, it's all through love and directing our intention to God, and then getting about and doing the things that we need to do.
Thank you. That's so great. And I know I have experienced that, being a part of the family, being a part, the fact that my daughter graduated in 2019 and just loved it. And we loved it as a family too, and still do.
And I remember I was so delighted. Your daughter was part of the equestrian club.
She was.
Yeah, as a president, I had no idea we had an equestrian club. So I went there one day, and it was thrilling just to see all the things that are happening in terms of student life. There's such a diversity and, you know, so many offerings of things for our students to be involved. So again, your daughter, she was a great presence on our campus.
Thank you so much. I wondered if you could just share with people who are watching your own experience now. You've done so much. I know you've were at Salesianum
High School.
And also George Washington University, correct?
George Washington University. Yeah, I've been ordained almost 30 years, and my vocation was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. I went to Father Judge High School, mm-hmm. having graduated from Our Lady of Ransom, so I'm a real product of that we call the Catholic ghetto mm-hmm. in Philadelphia. And Father Judge High School, that's where I met the Oblates of St. Francis de Sales. Mm-hmm. And I really, liked all of them, and they were my coaches, my teachers, moderators. So I was naturally led to Allentown College, which they staffed and opened in 1965. And so I showed up as a freshman in 1979, and the trajectory of my life has, been really wonderful as a result. So I love being a priest, especially in this day and age. There's such a bankruptcy, if you will, of, morality and character and ethics in the world. And I feel like I can be a small part of depositing joy-filled, upbeat, optimistic spirituality for the world. And I think it makes a difference.
It does. And that was one reason why I invited him to be on the positive side, right? Because to me, having faith, and what you just said, it all goes together.
Absolutely.
And the way that we live every day, knowing that God is with us, knowing that there's a purpose to our lives. Mm-hmm. And I think that DeSales does a really good job of bringing that all together to young people.
Absolutely. When we were, obviously older than you are, but when I was growing up, we used to talk about going to the missions, right? Mm-hmm. So, which meant you would go evangelize, somewhere outside the country. But today, I think the biggest mission territory is in this country, mm-hmm. and it's just basically the secularism that has kind of enveloped everything. And so we really need to be missionaries and evangelizers right here at home. And not to say that, where young people are today is a bad place, but it's different. We don't have all of the structure and the mechanisms that were in place, like the typical Catholic activities of the past. A lot of students don't have access to Catholic schools because they're too expensive. And that's a huge issue, which is another plug I'd like to make. Mm-hmm. The Oblates and the Sisters of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, a group of nuns in Philadelphia, together with some really wonderful lay colleagues, opened up Cristo Rey High School in Center City, Philadelphia. Well, not just outside Center City. It's on Allegheny Avenue. And it's the first Catholic school to be opened in the city since, I think, maybe the early 60s.
Is that right?
Yes, and it's tuition free. It's a work-study high school. Just opened up a new building. It's great. So just want to give that shout out to Cristo Rey as being a Catholic beacon in the city.
That's a good word, beacon. And I do think that DeSales is too.
Thank you.
yes, within the greater Philadelphia area. I consider that still, even though you're a little further out from, but within that whole region there. When you're making a choice and you live within the greater Philadelphia area, definitely want to check out DeSales.
Absolutely.
It's worth it.
And it is. We're the only Catholic university in the Lehigh Valley. In the Diocese of Allentown, Alvernia University is in Reading.
Yes.
But we know, I think there's 12 Catholic colleges and universities in the city of Philadelphia. So we're enough away from them not to be competing with them too much. So it's really something special. So I really recommend, if you're in the place where you're thinking about your college life, DeSales University has a lot to offer. And I always say the best part of our campus is our campus. So you really need to come and see
Definitely,
it.
definitely. The thing I liked about it is because I'm located outside the suburbs of the greater Philadelphia area, is that it was farther enough away that my daughter did live there.
Right.
But it was only less than an hour, like 40 minutes to get there, just to bring her things that she needed and that kind of thing. So it was close enough that she still had her independence being away at school to get her work done and also experience college life.
And I always say to students, we get a lot of students from the Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton area, and I hear often that they may not want to go to DeSales because it's too close to home. I always say, don't worry, because you need a key card access to get into the residence halls. So your parents can't just show up without any notice or something like that. So sometimes that helps them. But it's a great university, and we have great student life. One of the graduates described the campus, saying that the sunsets at DeSales University are so lovely, they make your heart ache. And I think that's a beautiful way to describe it.
I know you're right. Elaine has said that too, my daughter. She has told me how beautiful it is. It really is.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
So we talked a little bit about the past, a little bit about the present. What about the future? Is there anything that you might want to share with viewers about things that might be happening in the coming months or years at the school that
Sure.
of interest?
Well, as I said, I think we're poised for a very bright future. Our main goal is to attract students because without students, we don't have a university. We feel like our mission is the lens through which we do everything. So again, that Catholic Salesian framework, I think, helps and guides students, whether they are in business and science and communication, in performing arts, in mathematics, whatever it is, that mission really helps guide them. We have so many different programs to, like 3+2 programs. So you start as an undergraduate and you graduate with a master's degree, or a 4+1. So we really think that these are very attractive students. I've heard the mantra, go online or go out of business.
Oh,
so,
yes.
So we're really wrestling with that at DeSales University, trying to figure out how we can do that most meaningfully, especially for the undergraduate division. A lot of our master's programs and the doctoral programs, we can do some of those online, if not all of them. So I think many liberal arts colleges are wrestling with that. But this is where we are today, 21st century. And we need to break down the wall between online and in-seat. And we're doing that very effectively with hybrid courses, flex courses. We have lifelong learning. If you've started a college degree and never finished it, come on back. We'll meet you where you are and guide you. So that's our future, and we're really delighted about it with new programs and that we'll be announcing if you check out our webpage, as you said. So I'm excited to be there as the leader, as president, with so many phenomenal faculty. We have 128 full-time faculty. 80% of them have terminal degrees. And we always say that you're not going to get a GA or a TA. You're going to get your faculty member in your classroom lecturing every class, and you have access to that professional outside of the classroom. So we're really proud of that.
It's exciting. And what you were saying a little earlier about this digital expansion and what you're doing also to address digital analytics, data analytics, it's so important for everything. And healthcare, especially since healthcare is so important with what you're doing, you have so many programs based on
Yes.
PA and nursing. That is what's happening in the future. I mean, we already see it.
Right, we do, and we're going there. We just brought online a new major in neuroscience. We're opening up the Center for Homeland Security at DeSales University in a few weeks. So we're very excited about that. We have a great criminal justice program. We have a crime scene lab. It's a house that we purchased, just contiguous to campus, so they stage crimes there. And
Do they?
They do. We have a pets hold lab. It's a crime data analytics lab on our campus that is sponsored by the Lehigh Valley District Attorney, and his team are there, so we get real live experience, and we offer many of our students internships, you know, in Pennsylvania, be it Philadelphia, Lehigh Valley, Washington, New York. So we're really situated in a great place to really let our students be citizens of the country and of the world.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love the fact that you said that you're offering more of these online programs, especially for even undergrad.
Absolutely.
Because that way somebody who's living in another state who just maybe can't come out to Pennsylvania.
Right, or even living on campus taking an online
Right.
course. And I know that's a debate in what we call the higher ed academy today. Like, people wonder, well, we're paying so much tuition and it's expensive. Why would my son or daughter not show up in the actual classroom? So, you know, at DeSales, we're working that out and discussing it with faculty, so to come up with a nice path forward, how many courses that a student can take online, and how many courses that you absolutely have to be sitting in a classroom with a professor in the traditional way.
Thank you. I was wondering if there's anybody watching who maybe their son or daughter, niece or nephew, whoever, is considering a university. What would be some things that you think they should look for in a university?
Well, I always say...
I know you're maybe a little biased, right?
I'm very biased, but I think it's all about fit. Like, I always say that, you know, you have to know your unfair advantage in this higher ed space. And I think the unfair advantage of DeSales University, I mean, that which we have that I would say many other places do not have, we have a wonderful at-home feeling. Like, when you come to this campus, it's safe, people hold the door for you, and I hear that all the time. People are kind, like, people seem to be upbeat. I mean, people obviously have difficult times, but it's not too big where you're just, you know, a number, and it's not too small where you feel like you're not at a university, but it's mid-size, and I think that's a great part of it. And it has, obviously, St. Francis DeSales there. It has committed faculty and staff. We have a great campus. We have activities, so it's that at-home feeling that I think is the number one thing that you have to have when you connect, be it with a coach, a faculty mentor, another classmate, and that's what I hear all the time about DeSales.
It's right, and the positive side loves DeSales.
Thank you so much. I'm glad.
Here loves DeSales.
Yes.
So I want to thank you for being a guest. It's
Thank you
already
so much.
finished. I can't believe it.
Really? Well, thank you so much. It's a delight, and in the name of all of my colleagues and the students at DeSales, I thank you for letting me spend so much time just sharing the good news that DeSales University is.
Thank you, Father Jim.
Thank you so much.
We will see
Okay.
you next time on the positive side on RVN TV.
Thank you.